Hey everybody. So being Catholic, um, my experiences. So I've been Catholic for probably about 3 to 4 years. Um, I very much enjoy it. It is absolutely what I believe in. Um, I have seen both the really beautiful side of being Catholic, and I've experienced some really horrible things of being Catholic. I've probably been called every name in the book. Um, One of which that comes to mind is I actually, at my last job that I had, um, was called a pedophile to my face, told that I condoned that type of behavior and stuff like that. Um, Point I'm trying to get across is that if you become Catholic, you're going to run into haters. And I love running into haters. I love it because it just reaffirms to me that I'm doing the right thing. Christ himself said that the world will hate you for it has hated me first. Um, Here's how I respond to that kind of nonsense, that kind of ignorant talk. Um, yes, there are people in the church that have done horrific, horrible things to other people. Um, the church is full of sinners, and people sin in very horrific ways. They are capable of very horrible, horrible atrocities. However, I am not responsible for everyone else's behavior. I don't control the world. I'm not God. Um, One of the great things that we believe as Catholics is that your relationship between you and God is between you and God. Um, really has nothing to do with anyone else. So your salvation is between you and God. If you screw that up, that's between you and God. Um, Therefore, I'm not responsible for someone else, committing horrific sins. The church does not condone that type of behavior. It condemns it. It always has. It always will. Thank God that there are now things being put into place to remove these people from power if they happen to be clergy, whatever. I know specifically in my parish, um, if something like that is witnessed, authorities are called. Um, we are told within our archdiocese by our archbishop constantly that if you witness something like that, that you are to it's your responsibility to turn them in and all that stuff, and that does happen. Um, but however, I'm not responsible for everybody every second of the day, their behavior. I can only control myself. That's one thing you need to keep in mind as a Catholic. The only person that you're in control of is you, and that's just in life in general. So I love my haters. I love when I cross paths with them because it just reaffirms to me that I'm in the right church and in the right place. So there are a lot of different things that you'll encounter as a Catholic. There's a lot of beautiful things too. The Mass itself, um, all our traditions. We are a sacramental church. That means basically we believe in the sacraments. The sacraments are our path to salvation. Now, what are these sacraments? Well, there are 7 sacraments in the church, ranging from baptism, confession, holy orders. Um, Looks bad. I can't remember all of them. Um, uh, Eucharist, which is Holy Communion. Um, that's just 4. Um, Sacrament of the Sick, and there's a couple others that I can't think of right off the top of my head. Sorry, I'm not really prepared for this video, but in order for us to go to heaven, we believe that we have to stay within the sacraments, stay in the sacraments of the church. So things like going to confession, attending mass regularly. Mass is an obligation. It is obligatory because we believe that we owe God that worship, and that is how we keep His Sabbaths holy, which is another thing that He commands of us in the Bible, is to keep my Sabbaths holy, and that's how we do that. We do have in the church a certain amount of holy days that are obligatory. However, you are excused for those if you have to work and you can't get out of working your job, or if you're sick, or if you have to take care of infants, that type of stuff. You are absolutely excused from mass at those times. So it's not like, if I become Catholic, oh, I'm doomed to have to go to church, or there are reasons why you would be excused. However, they have to be legitimate reasons. You can't just, if you just decide not to go, or you just don't feel like going, you've committed a mortal sin. Now, there's a very big difference in the church between the Protestant church. The Protestant church generally looks at sin as all sin being equal, and the Catholic Church does not. There are two different types of sin within the Catholic Church. The first one is venial. Now, venial sin is sin that does not destroy your relationship with God, but it won't send you it won't send you to hell, but it will gain you time in purgatory. Which is where purgatory kind of comes in, not good enough to go to heaven, but not bad enough to go to hell. And I'll explain a little more about that. Purgatory is a place that you go for refinement. If you have attachments, earthly attachments, that's a place that you go that you enter what is called a cleansing fire, and it kind of burns all those things away. The other thing about purgatory is that God would allow us essentially to go on and go to heaven, but we ourselves in the afterlife would choose purgatory because we wouldn't feel that we were ready for heaven. The other thing with purgatory is that I just lost my train of thought. It's not forever. You can, from purgatory, attain heaven once you're ready. And that's a lot of the reasons why, too, on All Souls Day, we have prayers for all the souls, and All Saints Day. We have prayers for all the souls that are in purgatory. We do that in the church because we believe that those prayers help them get out of purgatory and attain heaven. Now, the other type of sin that's in the church is called mortal sin. That's really bad sin. That's sin that has to be confessed. It has to be confessed because mortal sin destroys your relationship with God. Mortal sin will send you to hell. And there's a whole list of things that are mortal. In order for a sin to be mortal within the church, there has to be three things present. Okay? So you have to commit the sin with complete knowledge that it's wrong. You have to give deliberate consent. That means you have to deliberately commit the sin knowing that it's wrong. And it has to be a grave matter. It has to be something that is really serious and really bad, such as lust, or things like cheating on your wife. Everybody knows that cheating on your wife is wrong. Lusting after another woman is wrong. It is a grave matter, because it not only destroys the relationship with your wife, but that God has joined together in the church, but it destroys your relationship with God. And if it's done deliberately, it's absolutely mortal sin, which I would say 90% of the time that is done deliberately. You can't just accidentally cheat on your wife. So that's just an example. A lot of people have a problem with this concept because a lot of what I hear a lot is, well, Catholics say it's okay to smoke cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes is a venial sin because all it does, it doesn't destroy your relationship with God, but it does harm your body. So it's still a sin, it's just not a mortal sin. So there's some differences there. Um, in my experiences of being Catholic, they all have been good within the church for the most part. I have run into people within the church at times that I just felt weren't decent people or treated me rudely or treated me badly. But there again, you're dealing with sinners and human beings that are imperfect, that are fallen, and I can't control their behavior. So the best thing that I can do is forgive them and pray for them. Um, I do. I love my enemies. I love my enemies because I learn a lot from them. I grow from them, and I do pray for every one of them as much and as often as I can. So yeah, my haters, I definitely would say I love my haters because I learned so much from them. I'll get into some other differences and things in other videos, um, and stuff like that. Some more education to come your way. Um, but yeah, check it out. If Just about every parish in the summer starts their, I think it's the summer. It might be around fall, around August actually. They start their RCIA classes. So if you have any interest in becoming Catholic, you might just go to a class and check it out, see what you think. The priests and clergy are all really good at explaining what we believe and why. A lot of really good resources for you to check out would be Catholic Answers. Um, they have a radio show and a website. They also have stuff on YouTube that you can actually watch people calling in and them answering questions. This is a really good resource, and I've learned a lot from Catholic Answers. Um, and there's just a lot. There's a lot of resources out there. Um, you know, your best bet is probably to ask a priest or um, just go experience it for yourself. So until next time, I'll be here, still Catholic. Peace.